So very welcome to a new video. I'm currently outside and this video is going to be a little bit different. Should we as photographers be intimidated by some of the newest cell phones which have awesome cameras and where you can take portrait photos with an aperture of 1.8, and it's so easy, you just press the button and the camera tells you if you have to move further away or closer to your subject and you don't have to adjust any settings. I'm gonna find out. So I'm gonna test a full frame camera from Nikon with a quite affordable 50mm lens, nothing special, aperture 1.8, very good portrait lens, and I'm gonna compare it with the camera on the portrait mode on the iPhone 7 Plus. So I'm not even going to test the iPhone 8 or the iPhone X because I don't have it right now. So it's not even the best that's out there. I think there's a new iPhone coming out this September which will be even better. But I'm just gonna review the camera on that phone and compare it to taking a photo in the same situation but with a professional full frame Nikon camera and a 50mm lens. So now I'm in the studio for a newborn session. But yeah, I'm gonna do something different today. I'm gonna unbox my new phone and I'm gonna show you what I think of the camera and just review it in this video. So yeah, because I'm a photographer, people always assume that I have a million professional photos of my own kids. And yes, I do photograph them once in a while in the studio, but I have to plan it. But most of the time, I don't. Because when we go to the zoo, when we go to a park, when we're just inside our home and something fun happens and I want to take a photo, I usually take a photo with my phone because I don't have my camera right next to me. I don't take my full frame camera with me to the zoo just because I don't want to carry a big backpack with me and then I have to make sure that it doesn't get stolen or I don't drop it or it doesn't get lost or anything. So sometimes I take a crop camera with me, which is like a 50mm lens. It's portable, it's a little bit smaller, like without a battery grip, just, you know, then it's kind of like a small sized camera. So you can take it with you, but I hardly ever take my full frame camera with me when we go outside. And you know, when the fun stuff happens, those are usually the spontaneous moments when you want to take a photo. And by the time you grab your camera and you know, put your settings right, you know, you're photographing the manual mode, that moment has passed. And with your phone, I mean, usually you have your phone with you at all times. Something fun happens, you can just grab your camera or grab your phone and take a photo. It is time for me to get a new phone and I'm going to show you why. So this is the phone I currently have and you can see that the screen is broken. I dropped the screen. I don't know if you can see well. Oh yeah, here now it's showing. My screen is broken, even like this part is broken. I dropped it with the cover on it. It actually fell from the sink in the bathroom onto the tiles, like the floor, and the screen was just broken. I had a glass screen protector on there, which was also broken. I don't know why they make these phones not a little bit stronger. Like they want you to buy a phone every 6 months because they make it, you know, very easy to break them. I don't know. So yeah, this one does not take great photos. The screen is completely smashed. We're not gonna throw it away. My husband's actually gonna use this phone for now because his phone is even worse. It just doesn't respond sometimes. We don't buy stuff, like we don't buy new stuff easily. We just use it until it's completely worn out and then we buy a new one, at least when it comes to phones. So it was time for me to get a new phone and I actually got a new phone and I'm going to show you. So here I have the box of the phone and here I have the box of the cover. It's like a protector and in the description it says this is the perfect cover for people who tend to drop their phone a lot. I sometimes drop my phone. I don't do it on purpose. I try to take really good care of my stuff. But phones, they just break so easily. I've never dropped my phone in the toilet, by the way. I have friends who did that a few times. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. But anyway, this is my package. This is the iPhone 7 Plus. I know that the iPhone X is currently the hottest iPhone. It's also the most expensive iPhone. And I know there's a new iPhone being launched somewhere September, October, which is going to be even more awesome probably. But for now, I have bought an iPhone 7 Plus and I'm going to test the camera and see if it's any good. Because yeah, like I have an Instagram account for myself as well. and it's like Fenna_and_photography, just to make it easier. But anyway, so on this Instagram account, most of my photos are taken with my phone. So previously they were all taken with the iPhone 6, and I'm gonna take them with the iPhone 7, and hopefully they're even greater. I was considering getting the iPhone 8, and then I found out there's not a huge difference in camera. It's made of glass completely, and the iPhone 7 Plus is made of like aluminum. That's a weird word. It just feels a little bit more sturdy. I think I've checked out some difference between the 7 and the 8. Of course, the 8 is a little bit better. It's also more expensive, so I thought, let's get the 7. Also, this is not a brand new phone. I actually bought a refurbished phone. So if someone else used this phone, then they probably got the 8 or the X. And it was still good enough to be used by someone else. So I bought a second-hand phone, which they have been checked. You actually have 2 years of warranty, so that's great. So I picked out a gold color. It was either gold, rose gold, silver, or black. Black one was more expensive. The other ones were the same price. I will put in the screen what I paid for it. I think it was like 609 euros. So it's a second-hand phone, and I picked the gold one so that my husband can maybe use it later. And if I pick the pink gold, the rose gold, yeah, 128 gigabytes. You can get 32 gigabytes with the iPhone 7, but I do take a lot of photos. Here you can see what's inside. Because it's a refurbished phone, it's not the original box, but that's fine. I don't really care about like having the best, newest, hottest stuff. I just want to have good stuff, and I'd rather pay a little bit less because this is how I am. I'm gonna open it. It's from swoop.nl. Here we go. This is not sponsored, by the way. So here we go. This is the phone, the charger, cable. So this is the wallet that I bought. It's from a brand called Tech21. Okay, so I'm trying to take a photo for Instagram with this phone, and I really love the portrait version. Look at this. You can see the background is all blurry. Very pretty. Look at this. I can do a post asking people if they already have ideas for their Christmas minis this year, even though it is still July. Actually, it might be the 1st of August today. So I'm just gonna photograph this little crooked, fluffy Christmas tree. I'm gonna use my phone and see if it's a cool photo for Instagram. It's late, but I'm gonna try and take some photos of our golden retriever puppy. I am impressed with the quality. I have so many cool photos. I have my beautiful model here with me. My daughter, she has some flowers in her hair. She's wearing like a yellow dress, which reminds me of like a young Beauty from Beauty and the Beast. She feels like a princess. She's my princess. So we're just gonna take a few photos. I'm gonna take some photos with the iPhone 7 Plus, and I'm gonna take some photos with the full frame camera, 50mm lens, and then we're gonna find out how they compare to each other. a Nikon D600. It's not the one I usually use, which is the D750, but I thought it could be a fair competition. I will have to see later how well they compare, but you can definitely see on the iPhone photos a lot more noise. So when you zoom in, especially on the darker areas, you can see the pixels, while on the full frame camera you have a very sharp photo which you can edit and print very large and it will still be sharp. So many thanks to my beautiful model tonight. She's staying up late. I'm gonna take her home and she's gonna go to sleep. But she loves the dress. The dress I got from the H&M, it was on sale. It was very cheap. It was like, we had a 70% discount, so that's why I bought a few dresses for her. So yeah, I don't think you really have to worry and see the iPhone X, for example, as competition when you're a photographer and you're shooting portraits. Yes, the phone can do wonderful things and I really like the portraits, but it'll not give you the creative input that a photographer will bring. When you wanted to get family photos, I mean, who's gonna take the photo? The iPhone is not gonna do it by itself. It's not gonna help you to pose. It's not gonna look for different angles and give you nice assignments that you can do and then have these beautiful spontaneous photos. So as a photographer, you are the artist. You create the image, not your equipment, not your camera, not your lens. It's you as the photographer. You have a vision of what you want to create as art, and then you use the camera to create the image that you already have in your head. The iPhone is a tool. The iPhone X has a beautiful camera. This 7 Plus has a beautiful portrait mode. It can create beautiful images, and that might be enough for some people, and they will never book a photographer for a professional shoot. That's fine. I'm gonna chase my princess because she's running away. See you. What I miss is this same portrait mode when you photograph on the selfie camera, which is in the front, because it would be cool to create like a beautiful portrait of yourself with this same effect where the background is blurry and you're in focus. Maybe the iPhone 8 or the iPhone X, they have it. So when you take a photo with the camera which is in the front, like you take a selfie, that you can photograph in the portrait mode. You're in the portrait mode. When you are too close to something, it'll say move further away. When you're too far away, it'll say something like move closer, or something like with 2.5 meters. I don't know, something like that. So it'll help you. The thing is, yes, you can create beautiful images with this phone without knowing anything about aperture, shutter speed, white balance, ISO, because the camera will do it for you. The camera will help you whether you have to move closer to your subject or further away. You can even edit your photo afterwards on your phone. It kind of made me wonder, like, what if I would only be like a portrait photographer taking photos of kids outside, like headshots and whatever, and take them, you know, with my full frame camera with a 50mm lens 1.4 or 1.2 to create this beautiful blurry background, or I would photograph outside, you know, kids with my 70 to 200mm lens, aperture 2.8, just creating beautiful images. Would clients still appreciate it when they have phones which can, in their eyes, create the same kind of effect? So also, beautiful child, sharp and in focus, you could see your reflection in their eyes, and then the background is all blurry. If you can do that without thinking, with just clicking on the bottom, like just clicking on this button on your phone, and the phone will do it for you, why should you book a session with a professional photographer who will charge you hundreds of euros to create a similar image? Why? And I was thinking, as photographers, we don't have to be intimidated by phones. We don't have to be scared that they're gonna take over and that our work is not appreciated and valued anymore, and that it's just something that you cannot help, and you know, our profession will slowly disappear because of these awesome phones which can do it for you. You don't have to know anything about photography. Do you like my head? This beautiful softbox behind me. Let me just move over. Okay. So we don't have to be scared. Just make sure as a photographer that your work is so amazing that people will still book you. The thing is, when I do newborn photography, taking the photo is actually a very small part of what I'm doing. Most of the time I am posing the baby safely, securely, comfortably. I am matching blankets with wraps, with headbands, like making the colors all match and beautiful, placing the light in a way that it'll just, you know, create depth in the photo and just beautiful, hit their face so that you have this awesome image of a newborn. Having a phone and a baby is not going to create the same thing, because these poses, the way the light is falling on the baby, you know, the blankets, the wraps, the headbands, that's the photographer's work. Taking the photo, using the camera to take a beautiful photo, which you can print in a large quality, is also important. And these phones are not going to do it for you. Same here in the studio. I have different backgrounds, I have props, I engage with the kids, I sing songs, I play peekaboo to get these beautiful smiles in the photo, these beautiful, you know, emotions that they're showing when they're looking at something in wonder, when you blow bubbles and you take a photo. Those are qualities as a photographer which you bring to the session, which the phone is not going to do it for you. I think it's amazing that they have these kind of phones which can create a beautiful depth of field when you take a photo of your own child or your puppy, because, you know, I think everybody deserves to have beautiful photos of their, you know, partners, their children, their pets, of themselves. And if the phones can help you with that, that's great. But then when you want to be in the photo, engaging with your kids, you know, lifting them up in the air, spinning them around, cuddling them, you want to book a session with a photographer, because you cannot take photos of yourself with your phone, having fun with your kids. I mean, that's going to be very frustrating to take it like this. You can do a selfie, but booking an actual session with a photographer is such a nice experience, because you get to be in the photos as moms, as dads. And yeah, the photographer might take some headshots of your kids, which you think that your phone can do as well. It's not the same. Try and print it, you will see a difference. But still, like, you're not actually in the photo, you're taking the photo with your phone. So booking a session is always amazing. So as a photographer, make sure that you make the difference, that people will not compare your work to photos taken with a phone, because your work involves so much more. It's not just grabbing the moment with your phone and taking a beautiful photo, which is kind of like a lucky shot and then your phone will do it for you. No, it's creating the moment, creating the set, creating the decor, creating the atmosphere. I don't think as photographers we need to be intimidated by these phones. No, not at all. We can use these phones to our advantage when we promote ourselves on Instagram. Like, you want to have some nice shots of your studio, of your workspace, of your products. When you have this beautiful phone, that's great. When you, as a photographer, you don't want to take your big camera with you when you go to the zoo with your kids, you can take your phone and still create like photos with a beautiful blurry background, depth of field. I'm going to try and pronounce the word. Bokeh. There you go. I practiced. So yeah, that's amazing, but still very good phone. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and leave a comment. I'll see you in the comments. Hopefully you'll see me in my next video. Have a lovely day.